From the moment of his birth, Prince George of Wales was destined for greatness. As the eldest child of Prince William and Catherine, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, George is third in line to the British throne. His path, laid out by centuries of royal tradition, has been clear since the day he was born. One day, he will be king of the United Kingdom. However, while the monarchy is steeped in tradition, the modern era demands a new kind of leadership. With his parents, William and Catherine, already embracing their roles as future king and queen with grace and a modern sensibility, they are preparing George for a similar path, one that honors tradition but also adapts to the changing world. Now, in a historic move, William and Catherine are taking a significant step to prepare their son for his future as a leader. This decision, which marks a turning point in Prince George's journey, is not only about shaping his role as a future monarch, but also about giving him the tools and experience he will need to navigate the complex world of 21st century leadership. Traditionally, royal heirs have been groomed for their future roles through formal education, private tutoring, and a gradual introduction to public life. While these elements remain critical, William and Catherine are determined to take a more hands-on, personal approach to George's upbringing. They understand that the challenges George will face as king are unlike those encountered by previous generations of monarchs. In a rapidly changing world, marked by political uncertainty, social shifts, and environmental crises, the role of a modern monarch is evolving. With this in mind, the Duke and Duchess have crafted a unique plan for George's upbringing, one that balances royal duty with personal development. They believe that, in order to be a great leader, George must first understand the world around him, its people, cultures, and challenges. Rather than isolating him within the confines of royal life, they want him to experience the world in a way that allows him to connect with the people he will one day serve. One of the most important steps in this new approach is George's formal education. William and Catherine have already made headlines with their decision to send George to Lambrook School, an independent preparatory school that focuses on not just academics, but also character development, leadership skills, and a sense of community. While previous generations of royal children were often homeschooled or attended elite institutions, this choice reflects the couple's desire to give their children, and George in particular, a more grounded, well-rounded experience. At Lambrook, George is exposed to a diverse range of subjects and extracurricular activities that go beyond the traditional royal curriculum. He participates in sports, music, and drama, and he's encouraged to develop his leadership skills through teamwork and collaboration. William and Catherine believe that these experiences will help George become a well-rounded individual, capable of empathizing with people from all walks of life. Recently, William and Catherine made a monumental decision that will further shape George's future as a leader. In a historic move, they have arranged for George to begin shadowing his father in more formal royal duties, giving him a first-hand look at what it means to be a future king. This is not just a symbolic gesture, it's a practical step toward preparing George for the immense responsibilities that lie ahead. This new chapter in George's life will begin with a series of carefully selected public appearances and behind-the-scenes experiences, allowing him to observe how his father navigates the intricacies of royal duty. From charity work to state events, George will be by his father's side, learning the art of diplomacy, public speaking, and the importance of serving the nation. William and Catherine's decision to introduce George to royal duties at such a young age is unprecedented in modern royal history. While previous monarchs have traditionally waited until their teenage years or even adulthood to begin taking on official responsibilities, the Duke and Duchess believe that starting early will give George the confidence and experience he needs to eventually take on the role of king. In addition to shadowing his father, George will also be given private tutorials in history, government, and international relations. William and Catherine have enlisted the help of trusted experts and advisors to provide George with a well-rounded understanding of Britain's political system, its relationship with the Commonwealth, and the broader global landscape. They want him to understand the complexities of leadership in a way that goes beyond the ceremonial role of the monarchy. One of the key elements in George's development is the unwavering support of his family. William and Catherine are not only devoted parents but also role models for their son. They have demonstrated, through their own actions, how to balance royal duty with personal values, and they are determined to pass these lessons on to George. Catherine, in particular, has been instrumental in shaping George's early years. As a hands-on mother, she has been deeply involved in his education and upbringing, ensuring that he grows up with a strong sense of compassion, kindness, and humility. She has always emphasized the importance of family and community, values that she believes will serve George well in his future role. Prince George is also surrounded by the love and support of his siblings, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. While George's path is unique, his siblings will play an important role in his life as he navigates the challenges of growing up in the public eye. Charlotte, who shares her brother's sense of curiosity and adventure, has already shown signs of leadership, and her close bond with George will no doubt be a source of strength for him in the years to come. In addition, George has the guidance of his grandfather, King Charles IV, who has spent his entire life preparing for the role of monarch. Charles has already begun passing down some of his wisdom to George, teaching him about the importance of duty, service, and environmental stewardship. As the world's longest-serving heir apparent before his ascension to the throne, Charles understands better than anyone the pressures and responsibilities that George will one day face. While William and Catherine are focused on giving George a normal childhood as much as possible, they are also acutely aware of the unique challenges that come with his future role. As a young royal growing up in the 21st century, George will have to navigate a world that is constantly evolving, a world where the monarchy's role is both symbolic and deeply practical. In recent years, there has been a growing conversation about the relevance of the monarchy in modern Britain. William and Catherine are keenly aware of this, and they believe that George's success as a future king will depend on his ability to adapt to the changing needs and expectations of the public. This is why they are placing such a strong emphasis on empathy, compassion, and public service in George's upbringing. One of the key areas where George will need to make his mark is in environmental and social issues. His father, Prince William, has already established himself as a leader in environmental conservation, most notably through his Earthshot Prize, which encourages innovative solutions to the world's most pressing environmental challenges. William has been a vocal advocate for climate action, and he is eager to pass on this passion to his son. In preparation for his future role, George will be exposed to these critical issues from an early age. William and Catherine have already begun educating him about the importance of protecting the planet, and they are encouraging him to take an active interest in causes that matter to him. Whether it's environmental conservation, mental health, or social justice, George will be encouraged to find his own voice and champion the causes he believes in. As Prince George begins to take on more responsibilities and make public appearances alongside his father, the British public is watching closely. For many, George represents the future of the monarchy, a future that promises to be both exciting and challenging. The reaction to William and Catherine's decision to involve George in royal duties at a young age has been overwhelmingly positive. Many see it as a sign that the monarchy is evolving and adapting to the modern world. George's involvement in public life is seen as a way to connect with younger generations and demonstrate that the royal family is committed to addressing the issues that matter most to the public. However, there are also those who question whether it is fair to place such a heavy burden on a young child. Critics argue that George should be allowed to enjoy his childhood without the pressures of royal duty. but William and Catherine are keen to strike a balance. While they want to prepare George for his future role, they are also committed to giving him as normal a life as possible. For now, the public is content to watch George grow and develop, knowing that he is being raised by two parents who are deeply invested in his well-being and future success. The first major public event where Prince George was involved in official duties came during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations for Queen Elizabeth II. While George had previously attended royal events with his parents, this occasion marked a significant step in his journey toward royal responsibilities.